Hello guys! Today we're gonna see how to use the reported speech. Actually, this is a review about some general rules when it comes to reporting speech. Not only reporting statements, but also reporting questions. And we're gonna see at the end some reporting verbs. So to start our lesson, let's listen some sentences, and you have to complete the sentences with the words they're missing. So let's listen to these sentences.
Unit 8, page 96, track 12. 1,
I want to be the best player on the field.
I want to be.
2,
I won the race easily.
3,
I'm not going to practice today.
'I'm not going to practice today.'
4,
You can succeed if you're confident.
You can succeed if you're confident.
5,
Why are you feeling so negative?
6,
Will you help me tomorrow?
Will you? 2. Okay, now let's use these sentences in the reported speech. So here we have in the activity grammar box the reporting speech of this statement. So let's compare the direct speech with the reported speech. So, for example, in the first one, the person says, I want to be the best player on the field. When reporting this to another person, I need to make some changes. So let's compare to this example in blue here. Andy said that he wanted to be the best player onto the field. So, as you can see, we are changing the pronouns I for he, and also I'm changing the verb want in the simple present for wanted in the simple past. So one of the things that we have to change is the tense. We take one step back into the past when reporting. Let's take a look at the other example. I won the race easily. When reporting, I can say, she said she had won the race easily. So the sentence, I won the race easily, was already in the simple past. When I take one step back into the past, I change to the past perfect, okay? So she said she had won the race easily. Again, I'm changing the pronoun. let's see more examples. I'm not going to practice today. So I have a sentence here with be going to. I'm not going to practice. When changing, I need to take one step back into the past. So instead of using be going to in the present, I'm going to use be going to in the past. So he told me he wasn't going to practice today or that day actually. When I change, when I report something, I may also change some time references. So instead of using today, I'm gonna use today. Let's keep looking at more examples. You can succeed if you're confident. I'm using here the modal can. Modal verbs, they need to be changed again in the reporting speech. Modal verbs need to be changed when reporting speech. So let's see how it's going to be. I told him that he could succeed if he was confident. Let's see more examples. Now a question. Why are you feeling so negative? When reporting questions, I can use I asked when reporting. So I asked someone, in the case him, why he was feeling so negative. So when reporting questions, I need to use I asked or the pronoun plus the verb asked in the past, of course. When you ask something to someone, so you need to use the object, in the case here, him, the question word, and notice that the order is just like a positive statement, okay? So why he was feeling so negative, not why was he feeling so negative, okay? I don't need to change the position of the pronoun subject and the verb to be. Again, I'm changing the verb to be to the past. In the question, the verb to be was in the present. Why are you feeling so negative? Here, I'm changing into the past. Let's see one more example. Now, another question. In the future, will you help me tomorrow? Again, it's a question, so I'm going to use asked. She asked me. It's a yes or no question. So I use, instead of the question word, I'm going to use if or whether. I would help her the next day. So when reporting statements in the simple future, we use would instead of will. Again, tomorrow is changed to the next day. So, said this, let's complete the rules that we have here. Let's look at the example. So we saw that we need to take one step back into the past when reporting. So, for example, when something is in the simple present, we go to the simple past. So go, went, want, wanted. But we have other examples here in these sentences. For example, we saw that when reporting something in the simple past, we need to go to the past perfect. So for example, won in the past simple past, in the reporting speech goes to the past perfect, had won. It's another example. Another example that we can see here is with be going to. So we saw in this statement, I'm not going to practice today. In the reported speech, we changed to the simple past. We changed it to wasn't going 2. Okay? Will, in the recorded speech, we change for would. Can, in the recorded speech, we change for could. Okay? Just keep that in mind. When reporting, we take one step back into the past. But let's see here. Actually, can change for could, and will we can change for would. Let's put this one. Let's organize this better. Let's put this one here on the number 2, modal verbs, because will is also a modal verb. Okay. We saw that we need to change the pronoun. Okay, so for example, in the first example we saw, it was a man talking and he said, I want to be the best player on the field. When reporting this, I'm not going to use I because I'm talking about another person, in the case a man. So I need to change for he or use the name of the person as we can see in the example. Andy or he said he wanted to be the best player on the field. But we can also change for she, just like here. She asked me if I would. Actually, we can change as this example here that we have. She said, I won the race easily. So she said she had won the race easily. So we can also change I for she. Also, we change the object pronouns, okay? We change the object pronouns. For example, me, we change for him. Another possibility is to change me for her, okay? Just like in the example here. She asked me if I would help her the next day. So we can change me to her. Time references, they also change. We saw that today changed to that day. And tomorrow, the next day. So let's put here today, it changed to that day. And tomorrow changed to the next day. And when reporting questions, the word order changes, okay? For example, here we have, why are you feeling so negative? When reporting, remember that I told you that I don't need to use the same order as we use in questions, okay? Because now when reporting, it's not a question anymore, okay? I asked him why he was feeling so negative, okay? So sometimes when we are reporting questions, the order of the words change. So were they going? Changed to they were going. And we saw that are you feeling? Changed to he was feeling. Now, let's see in the grammar reference some more examples, okay? Later, with more time, you can read the rules here, but I prefer to go through the rules, looking or showing some examples in the grammar reference. So let's take a look at the grammar reference. Probably you are thinking, why do I need to use this structure? Okay, reported speech. It's very common in the news when you write articles, when you need to report what someone has said during a meeting. Okay, so sometimes during meetings, there's a person responsible for taking notes about the meeting. And this person, when writing a report about this meeting, this person needs to use this structure, okay? But reported speech is more common in formal language, especially written English. But sometimes, of course, we use this structure when speaking too. But when speaking, we don't need to worry too much about this, okay? It's more important in written English. But let's see more examples about this structure. So we use the recorded speech when we need to tell people what somebody said or thought. Simple example about this. Suppose that you're watching an interview and you want to tell another person about this interview. When telling this, you are reporting what you saw on the interview. So you have to use this structure. So remember that when reporting, we have to take one step back into the past. So the exact words are, I want to go out. When reporting, remember, I need to change the pronoun, he or she, they, whatever. We can use the verb say or tell. We're going to see the difference later. So she said that she wanted to go out. That here is optional. Okay, you can use it or not. Most people use with that, but if you want to omit, that's fine too. No problem at all. Also, we saw that modal verbs, they change. So can changes for could. Will changes for would. So, can you help me paint the kitchen? It's a question. So, I use the verb ask in the past. She asked me. It's a yes or no question. So, I use if. So, she asked me if I could help her paint the kitchen. Okay? So, pay attention to this. It's essential at this point to be able to recognize the structures, okay, parts of speech to help you structure in the correct way. We saw the subject and object pronouns, they change. The exact words are, I'll give it to you soon. So I change I for him. So he said he would give it to me soon. References of time also change. For example, tomorrow changes to the next day. The books will be delivered tomorrow. He said the books would be delivered the next day. Word order change, especially when you are reporting questions. Okay, this is for questions. When reporting questions, the word order changes. So, example, what are you doing this weekend? This is not a yes or no question, so I'm not going to use if. I'm going to use the question word. So, I start by changing the subject. He asked me. Then the question word want And are you doing is the present continuous. So I need to change for the past continuous. So what we were doing this weekend, okay? So the rest of the sentence is like a positive sentence because it's not a question anymore. You are just reporting a question. So the word order changes, okay? So instead of saying, what were we doing? We use what we were doing this weekend, okay? Remember, when reporting questions, especially yes or no questions, we use if or whether. Why? Because we don't have the question words. So instead of placing the question word, I'm going to use if or whether. The meaning, the same, okay? If or whether, the meaning is exactly the same. Whether is a little bit more formal, okay? Just a little change in formality, but the meaning is exactly the same. For example, did you enjoy the movie? It's a yes or no question. So when reporting, I use if. He asked me if I had enjoyed the movie. Now, let's talk a little bit about reporting verbs, okay? Here, let's see first about the verb say. Many students don't understand what is the difference between say and tell. Let me explain. Let me give you a scenario. Imagine that you are interviewing your favorite actor. So, you are interviewing your favorite actor. So, when reporting what this actor told you, you're not going to use say. So, when reporting what this person told you during the interview, you're not going to use say because this person told this message or the words were directed exactly to you, directed to you. So we're going to use tell when reporting. But now, suppose that now you're not the interviewer anymore. You're just someone in the audience. So when reporting this, you're going to use say. So that's the difference, okay? Another way to see this, it's by looking at the structure, okay? When we use the verb say or explain in the recorded speech, these two verbs, they don't require an object, okay? For example, she explained that John was ill and couldn't come. Now compare with tell. Tell, it's always followed by an object. Always, because you tell something to someone. Always to someone. So someone is your object. For example, he told us, then we needed to show identification. Okay, so us is the object. That's the difference in the point of view of grammar. Okay, let's see about other reporting verbs like ask, remind, and warn. These verbs here are followed by an object and the infinitive form of another verb. So we reminded him to mail the letter. So I have the object and the infinitive form of another verb. Promise and decide are followed by the infinitive without an object. Example, we decided to stay at home and watch TV. Admit and suggest are followed by the ing or the gerund. He admitted liking her a lot. Okay? Now, let's see. Let's come back to our lesson. And as homework, as an activity, I wanted to do the exercise number 5, number 6, A and B. Also, you can do as homework the exercise number 7. Okay, number 7. And of course, you can prepare yourself, okay, to do the speaking in our next class. Okay, so as homework, you're gonna prepare, you're gonna think about one of the following here, and you're gonna use the recorded speech in class. So you can think about 3 things that you've seen or heard in the news in the last week, or 3 things that 3 different people have said to you in the last 24 hours. So before class, think about it, and we are gonna do this in class, okay? I just want you to think before our class, okay? So if you have any questions about recorded speech, please feel free to ask me any questions and I'll help you. See you next time. Bye-bye.